Hi everyone. I've got a confession to make, and that is that I am useless at jazz. But that doesn't stop me having a go, getting up and playing with friends when I get the opportunity. Now, the first time I tried to do this, I realised just how hopeless I was, and the reason was that I just couldn't keep up with the chord changes. Especially just comping along. The chords were so big and complex, they weren't chords that I particularly played, and the changes were happening so fast that I was just getting lost all the time. Now, I remember at the time I discovered a guy called Freddie Green who played for Count Basie, played guitar for him. And what Freddie did was he simplified, he honed down his chords and just played 3-note chords or 2-note or even 1-note chords as he was comping along with the rest of the band. And that gave me the inspiration that I needed to do the same thing for myself. So what I did was I created a cheat sheet to kind of help me with just some basic chord shapes that I could use to comp along to pretty much anything. What I've done is I've turned these into a PDF and I've attached it to the description field, so feel free to download it and have a play with these yourself. Now the chords, what I did was I structured them so I just put the root note in the bass so I always knew where I was, and I made 2 of each 7th chord based on the 6th string, on the 5th string and on the 4th string. And that just gives me the flexibility to play any chord pretty much anywhere in any key. So you'll see that there are just 3 notes in each chord. So, for example, there's an A major 7th chord. So if you're playing with a pick, what you need to do is to flatten your fingers down to kill all the strings that you don't want to ring. So you're only playing 3 of the 6 strings, and the other 3 you want to dampen. And as I say, I put 2 inversions of the same chord. I picked 2 inversions, and this was because it gave me some flexibility when I was changing between one chord and the next. It gives you nice ways of creating some sort of melodic lines as well. So just going through them, you can see, as I say, there's my A major 7th chord, and because the root is on the 5th fret of the E string, that's my A note, so I know that's A major 7th. And you can move them around like bar chords. So there's a B major 7th because that's a B note. So they operate very similarly to bar chords. The other inversion is just there. And then on the 5th string, I've got my major 7th chord shape there, and the other one, and because that's a D note, that's D major 7th. Then G major 7th, because that's a G note on the 4th fret, or 4th string, and the other inversion. And then I've got my dominant 7th chord, so my normal 7th chord, so A7, D7, G7, and then minor chords, A minor, D minor, G minor, and then finally I did diminished 7th chords as well. Now in all of these chords, what I've done is I've put the root, the 3rd and the 7th, but I missed out the 5th deliberately. And the reason for that is, firstly, it simplifies the chord, and secondly, it means that I don't have to worry about those kinds of altered dominant flat 5, sharp 5 type chords, because there's no 5th in the chord, so you don't have to worry about how you alter the chord to add that flat 5 or change the 5th. And also, that means that the diminished 7th chord also functions as a minor 6th chord as well, because the difference between those 2 chords is whether you're playing a regular 5th or a flat 5. But if you're not playing 5th at all, then this one shape has both functions. So let's have a go at applying these. I've put some rhythm changes in the PDF, but the best thing to do really is to go on one of the many jazz websites and download some standards and just figure out some chord changes yourself. But if we work through these, you can kind of see how I would use these chords. So the first one is B flat major 7th, which is just there. So it's B flat, it's on the 6th string, and so I'm playing that particular shape. Then G7, I'm using the 4th string variant, down to C minor 7th, to F7. Now you can see here why I've got two inversions of the same chord. So there's one inversion of F7. So I could have gone C minor 7 and used that F7 version, but it's quite nice to use that and maintain that top note. So playing through that again, I'm just going B flat, major 7th, G7, C minor 7th, F7. And then F minor 7, it's quite nice to come up here, play F minor 7th there, and do the similar inversion of the B flat 7 there, to E, what's that, E flat major 7th. And again, you can see all the way through here, I'm changing my using different versions of these chords. Because it gives me that kind of, that nice sort of little kind of melodic, chromatic movement I can create just by using these different inversions. So the thing is, just have a go at them. They're nice and simple, they fit under the hands quite well, which means you can make the changes quite quickly. So I'd suggest just go on one of the jazz websites, like I say, download some standards, and have a go yourself. So have fun with them, and I'll speak to you next time. Goodbye.